What's up, everyone? Josh Schreiber here for WMUA Sports. And today I'm going to finally be finishing the UMass quarterback film breakdown video series. And what better way to do it than to do it by breaking down a very familiar face in Brady Olson? Obviously, Brady Olson has been with the team for a couple of years now, kind of been in and out of that starting role. And this is kind of the first time he's really had some strong competition. Last year with Gino Campiotti, that was definitely a bit of a competition, but uh, Olson kind of ended up just winning that one almost by default with injuries and just the offense not working out. So if you came here for Brady Olson slander, you're not going to get it. Just a little bit of a spoiler, but without further ado, let's get into Brady Olson. All right, so let's get into some of Olson's highlights to start. So, one thing when I was looking through Olson's film is I did like a lot of the touch that he put onto the ball. He was able to throw some of those medium to deeper routes along the sidelines with some nice touch, some nice accuracy, and just kind of dropping the ball into the bucket of his receivers. So, we're going to start here. Let's just play it through. Nice touch on this one. Got George Johnson wide open. I know you could say, oh, well, he was wide open. You got to hit this. But either way, look where that ball's placed. George Johnson does not have to move. Johnson is an absolute burner. That route should be open more often, and I think they have to utilize it more. So that's just a beautiful throw by Brady Olson along the sideline. Next play we have here from the UConn game. This was Brady Olson's probably his best career game as a Minuteman. So here we go. He is going to fake this handoff, and what he's doing is he's kind of looking over in this area with the nickelback, just seeing what they're going to do. So he takes it, nickelback drops down, and he knows that he's going to have a guy open over here. So very quick with the ball. He's going to just float that one in there, let his big receiver, Cameron Sullivan-Brown, who's no longer on the team, but let him go up and make a play. He does so, comes down with it, nothing crazy, but a nice throw. So here we're going to see it again. Right here allows Sullivan-Brown to go and high point it. Sure, against a better corner, maybe this is not a great throw, but hey, you'll take what you can get. All right, next play here. He's going to be targeting this receiver all the way on the end. He sees that he's going to have a one-on-one, as this safety is kind of dropping down to get this guy, and then you have another safety in the middle of the field. He's not going to be able to get over there. So he's looking down his receiver. That's one thing. He doesn't really look any other way, but hey, if you like where you're going with it, may as well stare him down. So he throws that one up. Really nice placed ball here in between the two defensive backs. Beautiful catch by Isaac Ross, and that's a big third down completion. So really just a nice ball by Brady Olson. Nothing special, but a ball with that kind of touch, like that's a Division I quarterback type of throw, I'd say. Now on to the next play. Similar type of thing. He's going to be throwing kind of another, I don't want to say like a floater, but I guess in a way, it's kind of just a high arcing pass, wants to drop it in the bucket, sees Jaquan Gibson running down the sideline one-on-one, and that is just a beautifully placed ball. We're going to get a replay, I believe, but right along the sideline, Jaquan Gibson just does a nice job, and Olson just floats that one out there, puts it in a spot where he knows only his receiver can get it, challenges him to go make this catch. And honestly, maybe a better route, and he's running along the sideline, and this is just an easy grab. But either way, nice job by Gibson to make this catch, and nice job by Olson to put it in a spot where it's not in harm's way. All right, back to this Arkansas State game. This was, not a great game for Olson. I believe Zero came into this game at some point when they started to come back. But so here is another deep ball that he's going to throw that, again, nice anticipation. So he's looking right down here, sees a little bit of separation, and he's just going to let it fly. So he really just, again, perfect throw, in stride. Can't quite tell who this receiver is. I think it's Cameron Sullivan-Brown. Look at that. perfectly placed right in the breadbasket, makes the catch, and then goes out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And then this ended up being a touchdown to George Johnson, who is running a route right here. So this is not, I don't think this is an RPO, just really a play action. George Johnson kind of gets blanketed right here, but somehow comes open. And I mean, look at Olson. He's getting swarmed, tons of pressure in his face, and he's just going to throw this ball up because it's third down, as you see here. So as long as you're not throwing this one in harm's way, you're all set. So he's going to throw this one, let George Johnson use his speed to get under it. He jumps up, makes a tremendous play, and comes down with it. And honestly, if you hear someone who's high on the UMass offense this season, George Johnson is probably a huge reason why. Look at this. He gets swarmed. He somehow breaks that, I guess, press coverage, goes up, high points this ball with a defender's hand in his face, and scores the touchdown, securing the ball to the ground. And I know this is a Brady Olson highlight reel, but I didn't, or a Brady Olson video, but I did not want to overlook that catch by George Johnson. And a nice job by Olson to put that in the right spot on third down. All right, next play. We are in the spring game here. This is not an ideal throw. I did want to put this in here just because it's another one of those lobby throws where this is where things can go wrong. So I'll show you this right here. He's got Gibson running a route basically to the corner of the end zone, and he's just going to lob it up. Lobs it up, and the problem is you got a pretty good corner here, and I believe this is Noah Boykin, who's just going to go up right with Gibson, kind of force him to the sideline. Let me rewind here. So when he forces him to the sideline, he's not really letting Gibson have really any shot at this ball. So he's just going to knock that one away. And honestly, there's a world where this ends up getting intercepted. I don't think Gibson could have even stayed in bounds to make this play. So this is one of the downsides of those high arcing passes. You're going to get some very athletic, very talented DBs that can go up and get the ball and potentially even intercept it. So not an ideal throw here by Olson. As you're going to see it here again. Look, a little bit too far behind Gibson. I know that he's aiming for this pylon most likely, but in this situation, just not worth risking it on first down. Now we're going to get into the RPO game. So one thing that teams like UMass need to and should do is run a lot of RPOs to help out your quarterback and just hopefully give them some easy throws and easy decisions to make. But in order to make these plays, as we've talked about in past breakdowns, and if you haven't seen those, please go check them out. It'll definitely help you out to watch the rest of these. But the quarterback's got to make a decision. They can either hand it off to the running back, or they can pull it away from the running back and decide to make a throw. So when they're making that decision, it depends on the route, but they're typically looking at one of the defensive backs to make that decision. So he is going to have this option here. He sees this slot corner, not really backing up into coverage, kind of just lurking there, ready to attack. So he sees that. He's like, okay, I'm going to pull this one out of my receiver's belly. And he's got Isaac Ross screaming open right now. He's going to float that one right in there. Nice pass, nice catch by Ross. And it's a big first down to move the ball past the 50-yard line. So that's just a nice decision there by Olson. Again, right here, he's looking over here. A lot of these RPOs, you're looking at nickelback / linebackers that might be in coverage. And this is actually a nickelback we saw earlier on in this video. But he's kind of just watching him to see what he does. Sees him really just hesitate for a little bit to see his receiver get open. And he's just going to fire it in there real quick. Second down, he picks up almost the first down before getting crushed. But another good decision by Olson. Next play, again, you see his eyes immediately go to these corners right here. And to be honest, this one is not as easy of a decision. It's kind of just like a see what you're getting. So by the time he's got the ball in the belly, he's still kind of buying time, I guess you could say. And he sees Marcus Bradley coming here, probably going to have an easy shot at Gregory DeWozier, the running back. So he's like, okay, I'm going to pull it back. And he sees right here, Jordan Mahoney, who's guarding Mark Pope, kind of gets turned around right here. He gets caught getting ready to turn his hips to run upfield. Mark Pope makes a nice move to get open. So he's just going to fire it in there right off his hands. This ball gets intercepted, doesn't get intercepted, but could have gotten intercepted. Not Olson's fault at all. He did make the right choice, made a nice throw, just was not caught. As you're going to see it again here from a little bit of a better angle, see his decision making as Marcus Bradley kind of just camping out right there. And here makes the throw. And I mean, you can't make a better throw than this. Right at the hands of Mark Pope. He's leaping. Doesn't really need to, but sure, whatever. Get the first down, go down, and ball goes right off his helmet through his hand. So not on Olson at all. All right, these next throws I didn't really find fit into a category, but I still wanted to include them because they were just nice plays. So here what he's doing, he's trying to make his reads. He has this guy streaking right in the middle of the field, but he knows number 95 is coming, so he's got to get out of the pocket. And Brady Olson, not known as an athletic guy, not known as like a dual threat type of quarterback, because to be honest, he's not. He's more of a pro style guy. But he does a nice job to evade this tackle on the run. This is not an easy throw, guys. Not at all. Like off the back foot on the run, well behind the line of scrimmage. And he is going to throw this perfectly into the hands of his receiver on the sideline, out of the outstretched arms of this defensive back. Let's rewind and take a look at this, because this is just a crazy throw. Look at this. On the run, on the money to his receiver. Just a great throw by Olson to convert the first down. That's the type of throw that gets you kind of excited about what he can do. Next play here. This is just another nice play by Olson, really. He's looking around, doesn't see anything he loves, but he does know he has his very tall tight end, Eni Falai, right here in the middle of the field. He's got that size advantage, so he's going to kind of just throw him open. Falai settles down. He knows he has the defensive back behind him, so he throws him open, throws to the left of Falai. Falai makes the catch on the run and picks up the first down on the third down conversion. Another just a nice decision by Olson to use his receivers' strengths, and in Falai's case, he is just really big and he can box out a smaller defender. Next play here, this is just going to be another sideline throw, quick throw to George Johnson right at the top of your screen. He sees him breaking in his drop, sees Mahoney is kind of getting caught, turning his hips again, so he's just going to throw it right behind him. Mahoney, nice coverage, but puts it in a spot where only Johnson can go and get it. He does. First down. Great job. You're going to see it again. Boom, right on the money. Now here's a play on third down. I think there was a similar play, I forget which quarterback it was, where I was kind of advising them not to throw this ball. So you're getting zone coverage here. And what their receiver's going to do is he's just going to try to settle down right around the first down marker. So play this one out. Yeah, it's Gibson right here. My apologies. Kind of just going to settle down in this zone, try to find that opening. And Olson is looking, trying to find something. It looks like his first read is Campiati, but he's blanketed. So he's going to make his second read to Gibson and fire it in there. And able to get it in there before Gooden can get to him. This is definitely a dangerous throw, because obviously if Gooden is seeing this beforehand, he could maybe jump this route, but this ball does have enough like zip on it where I don't think it would be picked off. He makes the decision pretty quickly and fires it in there, so nice job as Gibson can't hold on to it, but a nice throw by Olson. This next play, another, I think, a pretty smart decision. When I first watched it, I thought he should throw the screen, but watching it again, he did make a really nice throw. So here we go. He's got DeWozier. He's got the option to throw it to him, but this defensive back here is kind of following him, so he's going to kind of fake the throw. And since this defensive back's going, he's like, okay, this will give me a a small window to throw up the middle of the field. So once his receiver clears him, he's going to throw it in there right off the hands of his receiver. Nice coverage as well, but definitely a ball that should be caught and cannot give any blame to Olson on that. This next part is going to be a little bit more of the bad stuff. We went over the good stuff, but there is still a big part of Olson's game that is not quite that developed to where I believe he should be starting for UMass. So this is just kind of an ordinary play. He's in the pocket, a little bit of pressure, and he lets go of this one and just way sails it over the head of his receiver on a 3rd and long. Obviously not the most open route, so I don't really, this one isn't that bad, but this is a ball that could very easily be picked, whether by this defensive back or even the safety behind him. Very lucky this isn't picked because, again, if it is picked, you are in, I mean, this is pick 6 range, if not red zone range. So can't really be making this throw. Next play, this is probably Olson's worst throw of the season. This was, again, you're pretty deep in your own zone. I get it's 3rd down. He wants to make something happen, but he's just going to kind of back up, feels the pressure, and before I show you where this ball goes, let's watch him release it. So watch him right here. When he releases it, he's really just falling back, making one of those jump throws we see with like Carlos Davis. And when you start doing that, you're going to lose a lot of accuracy unless you're a guy like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and even them, not an advisable throw. Jumps back to make that throw, sails over the head of his receiver, and right into the awaiting arms. I think that's a linebacker, actually, who takes it to the end zone. And that's exactly why you can't make those throws, because I get it's 3rd down. You want to make something happen, but the end result is just, it's too often that this is not really never going to work out for you as they score the touchdown there. All right, this next interception against Arkansas State, this was a little bit before he got benched in this game, but this is just a case, I think, of him trying to do too much. So 3rd and 8, or really 3rd and goal, I guess. You got 3rd and goal, and he's just desperate to make a play. So he's going to wait right here. He realizes he doesn't have much. This receiver here might be open, but from the other hash marks, this is a tough throw to make. So he's going to decide against it and kind of just look over to this left side, see this little tiny opening, and make another throw where he's just falling back to, I guess, hard to call it his front foot, but his foot that's kind of falling away, and just, again, sails his receiver. This is a ball, or not sails his receiver, but ball that's just an easily jumpable route by the corner who makes a nice play on it. But again, not a throw you should be making. Just throw this ball away or try to hit the check down and take the field goal. It's still very early. So this play actually isn't that bad, but it kind of just shows where he kind of lacks in strength and I guess throw power. So right here, you're going to get a flea flicker against UConn. So I do love the trickery, but so he's throwing from the 11-yard line, let's call it. Throw it high, loopy throw. Cam Sullivan-Brown almost has to stop for this ball. He goes up, makes an incredible catch in double, triple coverage, and he comes down with it. But I will say probably not the most advisable throw, especially on 1st down where you still got time. I get you're a 1-7 team trying to win a ball game, and I could totally respect that. Completed the catch. Only so much I could say here, but you see that arm strength is just a little bit lacking, that this ball had a lot of hang time to it. Threw it about, 45, almost 50 yards actually, so not bad, but probably not the smartest throw. So you're going to see it again here. Just kind of up in the air. Cam Sullivan-Brown is almost like a punt returner here where he kind of stops. It has to go up and just grab it. That's a great catch by him. But as I mentioned, don't want to be saying the same thing over and over, but probably not the most advisable throw. Okay, these last two plays are actually not plays where I am knocking Olson. It is, I guess, knocking him in this system. Okay, so I'm not knocking the talent. I am simply knocking that he does not fit what UMass needs to run and probably will run. And that is a lot of quarterback runs, a lot of option plays, a lot of read options, a lot of quick passes, which he is good at, but most of the time. But the quarterback running game, like, you'll see. Okay, ready? So this is going to be first and goal, read option play, simple as that. He's gonna take it. Actually, no, this is just a power play. I don't know what on earth Steve Kasula is thinking here with Brady Olson. Like, all respect in the world to Brady Olson, but he is not the type of guy that should be running a quarterback power play in the red zone. Like, he is an athletic guy, but he is not the biggest, not the strongest, and not the fastest. So, like, as you could guess here, he takes this ball, tries to get to the corner, and just gets completely smothered. Not his fault at all. Not a good play call by Steve Kasula. That's not what you want to be running here. And then, let me check. Is this on the same drive? Yes, this is the same drive. 2 plays later, they go to almost the same exact play, except this time it's a read option and you have George Johnson out blocking. Brady Olson is never going to win this race to the outside, especially when there's a defensive back right there. So as you see, Olson's tried to go and he just gets grabbed behind the line of scrimmage. And this is, again, just a terrible play call. I mean, I hate to knock the play calling here, but really, like, what are you doing? Third and short, you have some great, very, very solid running backs. At least try to get a quick pass, or at least try to run the ball with one of your running backs instead of having Brady Olson try to get in open field and beat a couple of defensive ends and corners and linebackers. Like, this is not the key to success, and this is exactly why they struggled so much last year on offense. All right, so as you guys can see, not the most negative at all by any circumstances, not the most negative review of Brady Olson, considering that he has not had a lot of success as a Minuteman. And it's really hard to blame the guy, honestly. He hasn't had the most help. He hasn't had, I guess, favorable coaching play calls for his style of play. He's a pro style guy. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be running these plays. I think that the system they were trying to run last year works with the right guy. And I think that Fomachan is the right guy. I think that Ahmad Haston will be the right guy. And I think even Carlos Davis, he has a chance to be the right guy, just needs to develop a little bit. But Brady Olson really just does not fit the scheme that they have. And for that reason, I am putting him 4th in the quarterback starting tier. With that being said, I actually believe that there is a strong chance they go with him week 1 to start, just because they like the familiarity. They like the idea. This is obviously in my head, but I think they like the idea of telling the other quarterbacks that they can't just cruise into a starting job. They've got to work for it. And Brady Olson being here for now his 3rd year and staying loyal to the program, I think will probably have some rewards. I don't think by any means he's done with UMass. I think he can be a very solid quarterback somewhere. I just don't think that UMass has what he needs to be successful at that, if that makes sense. So, again, I'm a fan of Brady Olson in general. From all I've heard and seen, he's an awesome dude. Just not the right system for him. And for that reason, he is my 4th ranked. So just to conclude this quarterback film breakdown series, my list is as follows. Number 1, I got Tyson Fomachan. Number 2, I got Ahmad Haston. Number 3, Carlos Davis. And then number 4, Brady Olson. So that's it for the reviews. Thank you guys so much. If you guys have any suggestions or things you want me to look at, just hit me up, let me know, tweet at me, whatever you want. I'm happy to go over it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me in this breakdown. Can't wait for the season to start, and go UMass.